Let's take apart a paper that reverse engineers the coding agent many of us now use all day. Dive into Claude Code from the Villa Lab. They read the actual shipping source and ask, what makes a coding agent good? Almost none of it turns out, is the model. Here's the number that started it all. Someone measured how much of Claude Code's real source is the part that decides what to do next, the intelligence. About 1.5%. The rest is plumbing, permissions, context, tool routing, recovery. The model is a guess. The house around it is the real product. So this paper ignores benchmarks and reads that house as an architecture. The authors put an actual number on just how thin that reasoning layer really is. Strip everything away and the engine is almost embarrassingly small, a while loop. Gather context, take an action, verify the result, repeat. The model asks to use a tool. The harness runs it and feeds the result back. And every hard problem in the paper is just a subsystem bolted onto one of three moments: what the model sees, what it can reach, and whether an action can run. Now the deepest choice. Where does the thinking happen? Claude Code splits it clean. The model reasons about what to do. The harness decides whether it's allowed and does it. The model's only lever on your machine is a request the harness inspects first. And that's security, not just tidiness. Reasoning and enforcement live on separate code paths, so a jailbroken model still can't override the rules. It asks, the harness holds the keys. Every action passes through one gate, answered with three words: allow, ask, or deny. The ordering is the philosophy: deny first. A deny always wins, even over a more specific allow, and anything unrecognized is escalated to you, never silently waved through. And it isn't one switch, but a spectrum, from plan mode up to auto-approving edits, and you walk up it as you learn to trust the thing. Trust is a trajectory, not a setting. Here's that precedence rule, stated exactly in the source. But here's where it gets human. People approve about 93% of those prompts, usually without reading them. Say yes 9 times out of 10, and the prompt isn't a safety mechanism anymore. It's a button you mash to get unblocked. So the fix isn't more warnings, it's fewer decisions. A sandbox the agent roams freely inside, with a real human decision saved for the unusual case. That cut prompts by around 80%. If watching a supposedly simple while loop sprout layer after layer of safety machinery is your idea of fun, do the loop why thing. Like, subscribe, and send it to the friend who still insists Claude Code is just the model. Right, back to the plumbing that's actually the product. The resource that quietly governs everything is the context window. It always eventually fills up, and quality falls off a cliff. So Claude Code manages it like a memory manager, not a trash bin. Compaction layers fire gentlest first. It trims fat tool outputs, drops old turns, compresses, and only as a last resort summarizes the whole conversation. Cheapest move first. What about the things you wanted to remember every time? Those live in plain markdown, the Claude.md files, loaded lazily as the agent explores. But notice, no embeddings, no vector search. To find relevant memory, a model just schemes the file headers and picks a few. You trade a little finesse for something priceless. You can open the file and see exactly what the agent was told. Sometimes the smartest move is to not do the work yourself. If fixing one test means first understanding a whole messy module, the agent spawns a subagent with its own fresh context. It does the noisy exploration and hands back only a short summary, leaving the mess in a separate transcript. Delegation as context hygiene. You get the answer without inheriting the clutter. So is this just a nice story, or actually measurable? It's measurable. Hold the model fixed, change only the harness, and its score on long horizon tasks swings by up to 18 points. Same brain, different body. An Anthropic's own survey found 27% of tasks done with the tool were work that wouldn't have been attempted at all. The harness doesn't just squeeze more from the model, it changes what people try. So, the whole machine in one breath. The power isn't the model, it's the harness. At its heart, a while loop. Gather, act, verify. The model only emits a request, and the harness holds the keys. A gate answers deny first. Context is the scarce resource, managed by compaction and plain memory files. Subagents explore in isolation and return a summary. The model reasons, the harness decides. That split is the whole design. The one-line version. A coding agent's intelligence is a commodity, and its architecture is an operating system for that intelligence. A tiny reasoning core, wrapped in a thick deterministic shell that decides what it sees, what it can touch, and what it's allowed to do. What sticks with me is the question the paper saves for last. We now have overwhelming evidence that the harness makes the model more capable, and almost none that it keeps the human capable. Maybe the next great harness isn't the one that makes the agent more autonomous. Maybe it's the one that keeps you in the loop on purpose. That's my read. Tell me yours. Until next time.